conference has been brilliant so far, for some amazing speakers, all of which I've learned from as well and found really interesting. And I'm probably going to be watching more of your talk as well over the next few once we're all online as well. And they'll definitely be included in future editions of Attestor as well. But enough of me rambling. I'm going to introduce you to our final speaker of today. So, Christina Kalova, who's going to do a presentation. Hello, Assumption, my old friend. This is something I think will be really interesting. So I'm not going to say anymore. You are.
Thank you. Thank you for staying. But it was really inspirational day for me. That's my second CGIST, first in person, and I told Beth I felt at home, like I've been, and that's my first time in London as well. But still, it's a really nice community. So thank you for having me. Thank you for being there too. No, this conference is a little bit overwhelming again. So many beautiful minds. We've been talking about AI a lot, and the entire year and the year before, and we'll keep talking about AI. But people, yeah, they said that supposedly it passed the Turing test. I think it will not replace our beautiful minds for a while. I just prefer to believe that. Today, we'll end with a talk about relationships, actually. After all the automation and computer and quantum, let's bring back the people factor. My talk, hello, Assumption, my old friend. Some of you might start guessing why it's an old friend, because testers, the first thing testers are taught to is to never make an assumption. And however, product owners have a slightly different perspective. We'll get into that. Two sentences about me. I've been in the industry for 18 years, primarily a software tester from intern to head of QA, and then somewhere around the 5,000th bug, I figured out testing was not enough. Sorry to say it here, but it's somehow, I had the luck or the misfortune to work in organizations where testing was at the end. It was always too late. So I transitioned into a product role. Currently, I have already a topic for next year. Currently, I'm actually at an extreme shift left position as sales.
No, you want marketing.
It's both. So yeah, but that's for next year. Anyway, let's dive into it. What's the problem with product owners? First of all, it's a lonely game, and everybody hates product owners. The problem with product owners and with bad product owners, and I'm speaking as a product owner now, so I can say it, is that whenever they are wrong, it's a pure waste. We know the cost of fixing a bug curve. This is why having a bad product owner or a product owner that's not really good at their job is so detrimental for the team morale, for the project, for everyone, for the customer, because it's pure waste. If they're wrong, then everybody is wrong with them along the line, and it's very expensive to fix it. And you very often cannot fix it, throw it away. These are quotes from product owners I worked with different projects, different countries. We were building things that I thought it might be cool, and nobody wanted it. But we invested months into building and testing it. And then after months, we realized it was not anything that any customer wanted, but the product owner I thought it might be cool. Then at another team, at another project, we invested months in building and testing very complicated workflow to result in a very complicated algorithm. And then when the customers saw it, they built an Excel to do the same job. Yeah, your factors and your configuration is already outdated. we can't use it, it's very complicated, we don't trust it. Let's just build an Excel for it. And then there's a third problem with product owners. We need to be exceptional communicators. And what's worse is that we need to be exceptional communicators in written language. Talking is much easier than writing. Explaining yourself when you talk to someone is much easier than when you have to write it. And this is a real user story. There must be a button below the field as shown on the attached UI mockup. Why would you write this to me? I can see the mockup for myself. I can see the button. Tell me, why do you want this button there? And is it a button in the first place? So that's the problem when we have poor product owners. Why do we have bad product owners then? Step back. What makes a good product owner? Come on, you go.
Asking questions, right questions.
Asking the right questions. If there's anyone to answer.
Someone who has a good understanding of the product inside and out.
To
Someone who understands the users?
understand the users,
Someone who understands the business.
who understands the business. I know you can go on, but we are tired. I will not torture you. The truth is, I don't know personally. Why? Because it depends on the context. Because your users can be fintech, blockchain, AI, quantum, retail, anything. And then when you open, and you can do data analytics, they want marketing, you can find hard skills, forget about the soft skills, but you can find hard skills in a job description for product owner across the entire software development lifecycle, starting with marketing and ending with customer success. Because the younger the startup, the deeper the skills that are requested, because you have one person to do it all. So it's very difficult to define, it's impossible to define what's a good product owner. You will find at the end of the presentation, we'll see. Why isn't there a good product owner? Because it's a relationship job. Because if we forget the context, it's a people first job. And the product owners are the ones with the largest amount of stakeholders. If the testers are we're kind of safe. We are working with the development team and a product owner if there is one, and they're usually not available. So we're within the team. Developers are within the team. Marketing and sales talk to the product owner. Marketing and sales very rarely talk to the development team. The product owner turns, at least in my experience, again, depends on the organization, maturity, context, and all of this, but sharing my experience here, it was the man in the middle, and I've been the man in the middle, and it's really tough thing to do. If you're not a good people person, it's really tough thing to do. You can fail miserably. I have once or twice. Let's see some examples where the big gap is. Testers, for years, I've been saying I have the perfect job in the world as a tester because I can never be wrong. I work with the fact that it's not working. It's a fact and it's not working. I cannot prove that it's working because we know exhaustive testing is not possible, but I can prove that it is not working and it's a fact. And this is a very comfortable place to be. It's really nice to know that you cannot be wrong. It's really safe. Product owners work with assumptions. Every requirement is an assumption. We don't know if it's going to turn right. We don't know if the customer will like it. Forget about Agile and working with the customer prototyping. Yes, I've been in these teams. I've been in teams where the customer end user will sit next in our corridor because their office hadn't been built yet. And that was the most successful project we've done, high risk project, high responsibility, but the customer was there, but that was once in 18 years. Usually that's not the case. If we're in retail, you don't sit with your customer. Yes, you can do surveys but this is all interpretations. So product owners work with assumptions. First of all, we assume that the user wants this thing, and then we assume that they want it now. And if we're wrong, it's a huge problem. And there is a double standard here. If the testers are wrong, kind of miss bug, it's fine. It's part of the job. If the developers are wrong, and apparently developers make mistakes because we find bugs in their code, it's also fine, it's part of the job. If the product owner is wrong, it's a huge disaster. And it is, again, because it's very difficult to fix it. And we've built pure waste. Then, in addition to assumptions, so this is, now we're starting probably to feel the conflict and the dilemma. Facts versus assumptions. On top of that comes the opinions of the product owner. And I want to ask you, do you have sign-off column on your Kanban boards, on your task boards, or product review, or BA acceptance, or you have them? Remove it immediately. Now open your laptops and remove it. I can wait. Sign-off column is detrimental for developing testing and testers, because this is a safe, you're creating accommodation for testers to say, domain knowledge is not part of my job. You're telling testers you're making it acceptable for them to not care about the domain actually. To not actually go into that knowledge and learn what the user wants and is this the right thing that we've built. You're making it okay. And for me, that's another huge part. You're making the product owner a bottleneck. And then there's another problem. It's not part of product owner's job to test. If I come to, we'll see it in another slide, and I say it only because I've seen the reaction. I'm a tester. I know how to test. I become a product owner. I'm tempted to do a little testing because I cannot not to, I need to do a little testing. And then testers are intimidated. And they feel as I'm interfering with or somehow challenging or doubting that they had tested. At the same time, they want me to sign off. How to sign off without testing. So sign off is a problem. There are other ways to involve product people into testing, not as a formal column or state. Getting more into that clash of the needs. Expected result versus strategy. I teach testers that they shouldn't sit in front of a computer without a clear goal. Even if we do exploratory, junior testers think, yeah, you're just clicking around and see what works, what not. No, you have a clear goal. You know why you're sitting, why you're clicking around. What do you want to do with that? What's your expected result? It's an instinct for us to have an expected result. It's from, again, day one lesson. Then imagine coming a product owner who says, okay, I don't know exactly. I assume that this is what we want. I have partial information from the customer. It's partially clear. Let's give it a try. Let's have a strategy. Let's build it, see how it looks like. If they say they don't like, let's have a strategy. This is a huge problem for the developers. They feel as if I'm throwing them in the pool and they're 4 years old and swim. Yeah, but how are we going to, why will we do something without knowing if it will work or not? Because we have to. It's really nice. I wish we could work with facts. I wish. Like I need to take, I don't know which train, and somebody will help me. I need to take the train to Luton tonight. And I assume based on data on Google Maps that it will take me an hour and 12 minutes to get there. But it's an assumption. I don't know until I get there how much time it would have taken me to get there. It's an assumption. We cannot live and work only based on facts. If we did, there would be no inventions, no innovations. Nothing new would have happened. We know the fact after it has become a fact already. Now, this is a big gap also. And to embrace and engage the team into working based on strategies rather than the facts, it's not an easy thing. You need the right culture. You need to work in an environment or to build or try to create environment as an organization that's safe, encourages experiments. That understands that you cannot do the best thing unless you do a little bit of attempts and tries and failing and being wrong is okay. You will be wrong 5 out of 6 times, but on the 6th time, something brilliant will happen. Not all organizations are experiment, what's the word? Not safe, but something else. Ready for such type of work, even if they call themselves agile. Even if they do, they're not, because it's scary. People prefer to be wrong than uncertain. And they want someone to take responsibility for that. But in most organizations, that's the product owner. I decided, let's do this. Yes, I'm certain. And when knowing that I'm not certain, but that's for team benefit, feel safe and secure and confident. And then, of course, I would turn wrong. Of course, but that's a huge problem. I have been literally mocked for saying, let's give it a try. Because why? Because I say it every time. Let's give it a try, see how it works. Let's give it a try, see how it works. And then the teams, I learned months later that the team was, are you sure, or we'll give it a try? And then I figured out they were mocking it because they feel so uncomfortable. And it's not their fault, it's environment fault. Nothing wrong with that. Some teams want the mythical clear requirements. And we have to provide it to them. We need to know how you're working as a product owner in an organization where we need clear requirements, or we're working in the one-sentence user story. These are 2 different environments. Not wrong with any of them. We just need to be aware. Some product owners are, like myself, learned it in different way that I was in the other one. Oh, the biggest shock for testers. That for me was the biggest shock in this transition from being a tester to a product owner. There are bugs we can live with. A couple of years ago, I wrote an article about the invisible cost of low priority bugs, ranting about not fixing bugs for 2 years and how much it costs actually to the team and organization to manage the backlog with so old bugs, and how you need to go to 0 bug policy and really figure it out and decide and etc. And then I had to say, we can live with it. It was one of my biggest personal shocks. And also some bugs are features. Why some bugs are features? Because it turned out if you have a kind of slow process and a lot of reviews and stages and gates and whatnot, some teams prefer to fix bugs rather than create user stories or requirements, because it's faster, it's fast lane to fix bugs. But then it turned out these bugs will take 2 months refactoring and fixing. And I would actually say this is not good. Let's make the proper feature up. It's huge dissonance testing mindset, dissonance to be on the other side. It's just different. It's the opposite from what you've learned for, for 16 years. Now, why there isn't a good product owner? And this is a testing task for you. Assuming, and this is an assumption, yet again, that we're taking out of, yeah, I know, no, it's fine, it will be better, I know. Times today. They must be always available, they have technical knowledge and skills, and I'm very generous here because, you know, the list could be really long. They have domain expertise, they can write and explain well, so 4 qualities. Okay, 4 qualities of the good product owner. One in how many is really good one? The quantum computers. One in how many? It's a testing. No, it's a testing task. These are 4 qualities, 4 test conditions for a good product owner. One in how many is the good one? 1 in 16. It's a decision table there. Testers, you're really tired. It's impossible to get that person. If you get it, awesome. But we need to be aware, we are only humans. We're not superhumans. Even the Avengers are like 20 or 30 of them, you know. There's no one superhero that has it all. We really need to be aware of product owners in the that's not an excuse, but still, let's be aware. What could a tester do to help the product owner? Start talking. Instead of having a sign-off column, do pair design, test design. This is core. This is powerful. It's a brilliant idea, not because it's mine, but it's really a good thing to do. Take the product owner, you see the requirements, you see the user story. Take the product owner, sit together and do the test design together. You will see, find, understand so much more at that early stage together. You will build the relationship. It's a completely different story. Unless I'm writing the test cases, don't look at them, and then sign off the story. It's do pair, not pair testing, because pair testing can be difficult. I know I'm a huge fan of collaborative techniques and ensemble testing and pair programming testing and everything, but some people aren't. And we've been talking about neurodiversity today. Some people aren't, and we shouldn't force them. That's it. I have seen it, and I know how I feel sometimes. But pair test design, it's a comfortable place for testers. It's in their control, and the product owners are the resource. And this is something we've learned also long way ago. BAs, validating requirements, static analysis, all these things, but they somehow got lost with Agile stories. So what I've seen working is to sit and think about test cases for that user story together. And then they can write it the way they like, automate or whatever, but just list the main things to check together. Then they find issues with my story, and I help them find more cases depending on context that I might not have been able to explicitly write it in the user story and the acceptance criteria. Don't get offended and defensive if the product owner asks you why you have tested that. It's not about you and your skills. It's about, were we able to think about everything that I as a product owner might have omitted. It's about doing the job. No, testers are very sensitive if they're not. We shouldn't. It's about, it's work, nothing personal. What about product owners then? A lot of product owners I have worked with, maybe me sometimes, are big whiners. Oh, this is too technical for me. No, don't get into details. It's too technical. I don't get answer from customers. I'm always pressed by stakeholders. My product, many CPO, CTO, all the VPs and whatnot. There are a lot of whining and complaining about product owners, at least that I have seen, which is, this is not how we will fix that problem with the man in the middle. We'll fix the problem if we level up our game. It's not too deep, it shouldn't be too deep, or it shouldn't be too technical. We should really go deep into domain architecture, dependencies, process practices, and everything that team is involved with. Because when I get estimations also, but many product owners want estimations. If they want estimations, they really need to be aware what they're hearing about. And they need to challenge those estimations, and they don't, because then it's the opposite blaming. You said 3 user stories, as if it means anything. They need to ask that upfront. They need to be aware. Negotiation skills, we talked about it. It's really, everyone apparently need to read Chris Voss, which.
Hopefully we won't be in that situation.
Nikki knows the book. For everyone else,
Great book.
there's a famous book by an FBI agent, Chris Voss, and the book is called Never Split the Difference. He talks about FBI negotiation skills that they learned and mastered over plenty of incidents with hostage takers. The book is indeed brilliant. It's very hype. So we all need to master our negotiation skills, because it's a IT is relationship job. Software is people job. It's relationship job. We need people to do the work.
5 minutes.
Yes, I think we're almost
Cool.
almost there.
Oh, there.
But I'm last, so I can take 5.
Yeah.
Something that really impressed my team was when I started writing acceptance criteria with decision tables. And one senior developer, very senior, his comment was, "You cannot describe all behavior in a decision." Well, yes, you can. But he wouldn't know, because he hadn't been trained, even though he's master programmer, but he hadn't been trained in decision tables. And then everybody feels safe and comfortable, and testers feel safe and comfortable, and everything's clear, and they know what to ask. They see the gaps in the table, they understand it. So help your product people learn decision tables. Start there, because that's the most powerful technique for me, and I've seen it how well it works with the entire team. But you testers need to help you product owners, because I don't know the audience. I learned the hard way that, yes, I told you it's work first, but actually it's people first. So really take care, pay attention, observe your team. Pay attention. The talks today really supported slide 2. Pay attention, because you don't know how they feel today. You don't make assumption that everyone's really hyped and had good sleep. Sometimes, and that's for the entire team and for everyone you're interacting with. Pay attention to the people around you. So, food for thought. If it takes a whole team to deliver working software, then why do we think it will take one person to define? I tell you a fact, it's not working. It doesn't work like that. Thank you.
Very well done. Fantastic presentation.
I'm impressed myself.
I like the bit where it said about they make testers, they make assumptions as well. So good call on that. So respect for that. So does anybody have any questions at all? Yeah, far away.
The little green italic things, are they all song titles?
Yes, which who thought?
I know this one. The Beatles.
That's
They're
why
all Beatles
they're
songs.
all Beatles songs, yes.
Hello, goodbye.
I know
Yeah,
some.
submarine.
I was
You just-
afraid that it might, I don't know, look at appropriation, but I thought.
It was good. It was fun. It was fun. It made me smile.
My first time in London, I had to.
Yeah.
Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
How do you feel? Let me ask you, how do you feel after?
It was good.
It's good.
It was good, but how do you feel?
Well, right now, I'm like tired.
Where's the beer,
I
right?
can't get rid of
Yeah.
it now. Well, that's bonus. Far more than I did.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
very well done. And now we are going to hand over to Beth, who's going to wrap up this fantastic conference.
I'm going to make this as quick as possible. So we've reached the end of the